Boom! Big H back again. Come on, man. 33 and that. Active. Cheers! Might just finish another shift. Hopping. But today, oh shit. Today, I want to talk about duality. If you guys know what duality is. Duality versus living in a state of grace. Now, this is where religion has this part to play about it still. If you read the Bible, if you read any holy text, actually, I always say Bible because that's what I was raised on. If you read any holy text, you will see that it usually tells you the do's and don'ts. Yeah, what's positive and what's negative. What's the sin and what's not. What is a sin? Obviously negative. That is the negative part of the duality. Duality, look at, you know the yin yang symbol, the circle with the white side and the black side. Black side, the negative. I don't know why people say black negative anyway. Why can't white be negative? But anyways, black negative, and then everything else that's not a sin, positive. Get me? This links all the way back to Genesis, to the beginning, when Eve ate the apple and then gave to Adam to eat the apple. When obviously, I'm pretty sure that the Bible then, during Adam and Eve's time, was only what God said, which is everything is yours for you to chop, positive, apart from that tree, negative, which they went to go and chop anyways. And but it's them ones during that time, before they ate the apple, they had no clue what positive and negative was, what good was and what bad was. So hypothetically speaking, they did not eat the apple. But we still had the same the way that we act. You know how humans are like, man. Humans, they're tapped. We feel emotions and sometimes they're uncontrollable and you act on them, which is not quite positive. If they hadn't had eaten the apple, we would still be in what we call a state of grace. Because I'm 100% sure that they would have still been quote unquote sinning. They wouldn't know what sin is, unfortunately. Do you think a dog knows what a sin is when a dog is pissing on your floor in your house, even though you've told the dog not to do that? And yes, you'll probably be angry at the dog, and the dog will know that it's upset. But the dog is not thinking, "Oh shit, I've sinned," or "Oh shit," or do you know what I'm saying? The dog is just upset. It's just upset. That's why I say in life, just be. Whatever's happening, it's happening. Like, do you know what I'm saying? That's how life would have been. But now, we got to a point where we know what the difference is between good and bad. Even though, really and truly, if you think about it, you really don't know. You really don't know. We feel like we know the difference between good and bad. So therefore, when someone does something negative, oh, this person's a bad person, this person, But when someone does something positive, you guys want to fucking lick his feet. You guys want to exalt him up to the highest. That's what you call duality. Now, when you do something negative, you feel guilty, and whatever feelings that come with the negative thing, you feel it. And obviously, yeah, that's what's meant to happen. I still believe even if Eve didn't eat the apple, that she would have, and she had done something that is quote unquote a sin, she would feel something, but she's not going to dwell on it. You're not going to dwell on it because you don't even know what good and evil is. You're literally just learning. But we think we know everything. You get me? That's what you call duality, man. The thing is, we all say that we worship one God, right? This is quite, I'm trying to link it all back. We all say we worship one God, right? If we worship one God, then why do we think that there are two God, there's God and Satan? or God and the devil. When it's just one. It's one. What people are not trying to understand is, if you do it in a way, if you live life in a way where you think there's two separate things, there's God and there's the devil, then you're going to live your life in that way. Your life is literally going to be a roller coaster. You're going to go through seasons that are pleasant and then seasons that are fucked, and then back into a pleasant season and then back into a fucked season, because you're living in duality. You're oscillating between the negative and the positive, like that, oscillating, and you're beating yourself up. People don't understand that the language of the universe is emotions, how you feel. So so if you live in duality, you believe in two different powers. You believe that there's good and there's evil. Of course, like when you see stuff is evil. Yeah, you can say that it's evil, but if you really understand, and I don't know how to explain it properly, man, but if you really understand, everything is just good. Everything is, in fact, let me not say everything is good. Everything is just neutral. It is good because our Father is nothing but good. However, it just is. It just is, and then what's presented to us, we look at what's presented to us, and then we act upon it. Not fucking trying to crucify a man or trying to shun man, because you're only going to make that other person continue doing what they're doing. What they're meant to learn. Anyways, that's duality. Duality, you're oscillating through positive and negative all the time. Your life will always feel like that. You'll feel like one decade, you're like, life is so sweet, you're popping, all of that. Next decade, everything's done. Then the next decade, and obviously it's not as formulaic like that. But you get my drift. However, when you're in a state of grace, everything just is. Good moments. It's so weird because for me now, yeah, like I'm still trying to transcend out of this duality rubbish. In my mind, I have transcended out of duality. But of course, there are still things that happen in my day-to-day life that reflects duality to me. And every time it comes to me, I'm always aware of what's going on. I'm aware of how I'm feeling. I try to keep my mouth shut, you get me? But and sometimes when you think, just because I think you have to wait for everything starts inside first. So in my mind, I've already transcended duality. Now I'm waiting for the outside reality to match my inside reality. You get me? It all starts on the inside. However, let me continue. In the state of grace, let's talk about the same good and evil, right? If you're in a state of grace and something good was to happen to you, yeah, you'll feel the feelings of goodness, and that's what you want to feel, and that's what you want to continue to feel. Obviously, who doesn't want to feel that? But you should also remember that just this, like the same way how the negative emotions are just visitors, they're just visiting your body, they're just chilling in your body for a minute. That's the same way the good is just chilling in your body for a minute. They are just visitors. People want the good thing to last. Shit don't last, my nigga. Shit don't last, you nigga. Like, we're here for an adventure. Do you get me? Like, everything literally, because there's only one God, and this God is good. This God wants the highest good for you. Sometimes to reach the highest good, you need other things, and the other things that I'll say is what people will call evil. You may need a sprinkle of evil in your life. Now, some people, their life is just full of evil because they think that's their reality, and they think they're trapped in that cycle of evil all the time. Obviously, when you transcend that shit don't even matter no more, man. Whatever happens, you take it, you go with it, and you know that that's for your highest good, because God is nothing but good. God will not bring evil to you to destroy you. He's bringing evil to you so that you can remember that you are God, and this evil is just something to. It's just balancing. You just need to balance what has been trapped in your unconscious mind. Is come up to the forefront It's expressing self in reality, and now you have to work on that shit. But yeah, man, when you're living in a state of grace, good times are good times. It still feels like good times, but you know that shit don't last forever. And bad times, yeah, they're just bad times, and you don't even feel bad during the bad times. Like whenever something shit happens to me, okay, yeah, it still feels shit, but you know, like it doesn't crush me the way it used to crush me. It does not crush me. Like I couldn't, like a part of me couldn't even care less, and maybe that's not the best approach to things in life sometimes, but I mean, when it's being done, I know this is because it's going to elevate me. I am God, so what is coming to me, I can handle. It's more than I can handle it. I've been overcome this shit. Do you get me? I don't know how better to explain it, but that's what I'm saying. If you live in duality, shit, and obviously I'm saying this now because we're getting closer and closer to that time. You get me? Everyone knows what's going on, and everyone knows what's going to happen, but people just don't want to accept it. People think, oh, there's hope, we can go back to normal. We ain't going back to normal, baby. We're going into a new world. We're going to a world where it is true grace, purely grace. And some people, the energy that they give off is not suitable for a proper world, a world where it is properly run by grace. Some people can't because they got too much jealousy, hate and envy in their heart, man. They got too much darkness in their heart. They can't stand the light. They will burn. The light of heaven that we're enjoying is hellfire for them. That's what hell is. Because you're still living in duality. Duality don't exist, my nigga. The Bible would put that there because you guys are babies. You guys are still babies, so you guys have to start with duality. I had to start with duality, and that shit would trash, my nigga. You guys are babies. You guys are still... When I say babies, I don't give a fuck how old you are. I'm talking about soul. On a soul level, you must still be a child. You must still be a child. A small youth drinking breast milk. You're still a youth, fam. I'm trying to cross this road. Yeah, that's duality there. But then other people know. You're in a state of grace. It's impossible. I don't want to say it's impossible to sin, but it's impossible to sin. But if you're a sinner, or if you perceive yourself to be one, or you do some fuck shit, then it's just as simple as you experience what you create. You created pain for that person, so clearly you want to experience that shit because that person is you. So you have to feel it. I don't get it. Like, it's so simple. It's so simple. But of course, that's where the grace comes because you have done it. Obviously, the wages of that should be death. You should be dead, but you're not dead. Instead, it's going to come back to you. You're going to feel it yourself and then understand it. Do you get me? But if you're still in duality, you feel like you're a victim for that. So, I don't know what more to say to you. But if you're living in grace, first of all, you already know what's going on. So if you do fuck up here, you'll be celebrating that you fucked up because now you know where to fix. Now you know where to fix. Now you know what to do. And if it was to happen to you back, even 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, you will not be shocked. And you'll be like, oh, now I truly understand the pain that I put that person through because I felt it. Do you know what I'm saying? Instead of that pain, that experience coming back to you, and then you're blaming the other person. He did that to me. No, like I said, we're all one. We're all the same. What someone is doing to you, you probably did it to somebody else. Even if you ain't did that to someone else in this lifetime, you probably did it in another. Even if you didn't do it at all, it's a lesson. There's something to be learned from both sides. I always say it takes two to tango. So there's a lesson to be learned on both sides. You try and see what you can take from that situation and try and move forward. And leave the experience that he's created for him in the future. Just leave it to your father. It's that simple. I've even made a video this long before, but there was so much to say, and like, I still feel like I haven't said everything that I need to say. Duality, like, I don't know how many different ways I'm gonna have to say it for you man to understand, but hey man, I can only do my best. I can do what I can do right now. Maybe later on, when I'm a bit more elegant with my speaking, that you guys can understand, then I can put in a way for you guys to understand. You'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I get what H is saying. Let me try it. Just try it, man. Let me try it. But anyways, man, that's Big H. 33 and that, man. Matter of here. Peace.